beyond the trailer, Grace Randolph.
Hi.
Hi. So I don't want to have any spoilers here because your movie's so surprising and disturbing. But so I was like, what am I going to ask him? So I came up with, how do you hope Barbarian stands apart from other horror movies?
Oh man, I don't think about that so much. I hope it's fun. I hope it's genuinely scary. I hope that it feels like a movie that people have not seen before.
I think you accomplished those things.
Well, great. Then
I missed like 20% of your movie because I was so scared.
Really?
Yeah, I was not looking at the screen.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll take it.
I see Bill Skarsgård, aka Pennywise himself, not only co-stars but as an executive producer. That's a huge show of confidence. How did he get involved in the film to that degree?
Well, Roy Lee produced it, and he was one of my heroes and producers on this movie. And so he reached out to Bill and encouraged him to read the script and hop on a Zoom with me. And I think he was in Sweden, and we had an amazing conversation, and we really hit it off right away. And he came on board. You know, Bill is actually not a horror fan, believe it or not.
Really?
Like, yeah, he that was one of the first things he said. He was like, a lot of people think I must be this big horror head because of the It movies. He's like, I'm really not. I really actually, they're not my favorite kinds of movies, but he liked this one enough to go back into it for me. So I'm very grateful that he did.
It's certainly very different. It's very different. For instance, Justin Long's character, with trying to avoid spoilers here, but he's dealing with cancel culture in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And I was surprised how much you dived into that. It was very realistic. What made you decide to include that conversation in this movie?
Because it is the mirror image of the first conversation that the movie has. You know, the opening chapter of the movie is a woman working overtime to identify threat. Is this man a threat to me? And women have to do that more than they should in this society. It's just, that's part of being a woman. I don't need to tell you, but like part of it is that you have to constantly keep that part of your brain active of like, am I entering a dangerous situation? And it
was very relatable the way you did it.
Thank you. And men don't have to deal with that. And that's too bad. That's something that I had a awakening to later in life, and that I can occupy the same space, but a completely different psychic landscape than someone else. And so I wanted to explore that. So I did that in the first half. And then the second half was a man who is just going through life blindly, committing sexual wreckage and harming people in a real way. And I think of those two chapters as twins. One is light, one is dark, and they have to pass through the same gauntlet. And so to me, it's not random. It's certainly, you know, not arbitrary. It's a very appropriate following chapter to explore.
That's very well thought out. I love that. I think that's really brilliant. You have some crazy sets here. Like, wow. Like, how many locations actually comprise this movie?
Oh, not many. I mean, it all basically takes place in one house. Now, there's different tiers of the house.
No, but I mean, like actual movie locations. Like, is it all one place? Did you shoot?
Well, we shot the majority of it in Bulgaria.
Really?
We did. So we built our street in
Did you build all those abandoned houses?
We did. Now we did go to Detroit. We did shoot in an abandoned neighborhood for like when she's walking through the neighborhood or driving through the neighborhood. Yeah. But our hero block was constructed in Bulgaria.
Bulgaria actually has neighborhoods like that?
No, we built it from scratch.
No, but I mean the other abandoned homes. Those were real.
No, that was in Detroit. That we went.
Oh, so you were in Detroit, and then you were. I was talking to your star, and she said you also shot a lot on a sound stage as well.
We did. So all the interiors are on a sound stage.
Wow, that's so cool.
It was cool. Yeah.
Now the whole setup is that an Airbnb is double booked.
Right.
Did any crazy Airbnb real life experiences inspire you?
Well, I hosted for a while, a couple of years ago. I rented my house out, and I had a couple of mishaps, you know, but it was nothing sinister or heinous. But it did get the juices flowing that like there's a lot of like potential for calamity here. Anytime you're entering someone else's house or letting a stranger enter your house, you're kind of rolling the dice a little bit, in my opinion. And so this is the worst version of what could happen.
Oh, I will say so.
Yeah.
I would not want to read the Yelp review for this.
No, it's not going to be 5
Airbnb.
stars. No. Yeah.
Well, congrats. It's such an out there movie. I think
Thank you.
people are definitely going to be talking about it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So have you ever stayed in an Airbnb?
Yes. Yeah, I've stayed in loads of Airbnbs.
Any crazy experiences in real life?
Oh my God, no, my life's very boring. I don't think nothing as crazy as, opening the door to find Bill Skarsgård on the other side.
So, I have to say, the most interesting thing about your character is how often she willingly puts herself in danger to help others. What do you think motivates her?
It was interesting because me and Zach spoke about like her kind of past and her backstory, and we see a little bit of that at the beginning. We see that she keeps getting these messages from someone called Marcus, and she talks about being in an abusive relationship or an unhappy relationship that she keeps going back to. And I feel like that's part of it, is that she doesn't necessarily know when to say no and when to leave, which she's also done in the past with this relationship. And then on a nice side of it, she's just really brave and like heroic and like wants to save the day and wants everyone to be okay. And which is sort of amazing.
Yes, my audience couldn't believe it. We were like, she's going back in.
No, she's crazy.
This movie is so nuts. What was it like when you read the script for the first time?
Oh, it was incredible. I got sent the script by my agent late one evening, and he knew that I really wanted to do a horror, and he said it was a horror script and, that it was good. And I started reading it, and I was kind of dubious at first because horror is a really hard genre to write well. But I just was completely gripped from the start to the end. And it was just a delightful script. And, there's a big shift that happens and you're suddenly like, oh, what is happening? Like, where am I with this movie? And then towards the end, I really started to get the tone of it, and that there's kind of like this comedic tone to it, as well as there being kind of like real horror and gore. And I loved it.
It's got a lot of hype. It seems like you picked the right movie, the right horror movie.
I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, I loved it anyway. So I'm really, really happy to see that other people like it as well. When we were making it, we obviously all loved it who got involved, but we were all like, people gonna get this? Is this gonna work? Or are people just gonna think this is bizarre?
Well, you do a lot of running around in this dark dirt underground labyrinth. Was it as scary to film it as it looks in the final product?
I mean, the set itself was very small. So it was very small. There was no light. The only light was from my phone. We used the phone light for most of it. So it was scary when you were kind of like looking, when the camera was behind you, it was scary. But as soon as the camera's in front of you, you've got like the camera guy, you've got the boom up, you've got...
I'm fine.
Yeah, trying to like nudge down this like small tunnel, people falling over or dropping things. I mean, yeah, it was...
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, there's like these really cool reveals in the tunnels. Did you see them before you were filming, or did you get to see it for the first time, like on camera?
No, I saw it before. We were on a soundstage, so all the sets were kind of set up next to each other. So the first day I went in with Zach, and he walked me through all the different sets, and I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic. My last question I want to ask you is, the final girl is a famous horror trope, but there are hardly, I think, if any, final girls of color. What's it like to join this classic legendary lineup?
I mean, amazing. I'm very happy to be the final girl. Yeah, no, it's incredible. It's really exciting. And big it up to the final girls.
I thought you did a wonderful job. I thought you were really relatable and just so fantastic. And so I thought, congratulations.
Thank you so much. You're so kind.